Hey guys, today I just wanted to go over a couple of ControlLogix reviews up at theautomationschool.com. If you didn't know, I spent a lot of time over the last few weeks upgrading the site, and part of that was bringing in all the reviews from the last 10, 11, 12 years. And they're now all up there, and there's a brand new review system. So if you're a student and you finish your course but you haven't reviewed the courses, please check it out and leave your review. But in any case, as you can see on the screen here, if you open up any course page, you'll see the details page to start. And then if you go over the student reviews, you'll see all the reviews for the course. And I'm on my ControlLogix course right now. But in any case, let me switch over to a couple of reviews I wanted to review with you. And the first one's from Nelson. He says, very interesting course, and I learned a lot with extraordinary instructions with a knowledgeable instructor. And so thank you, Nelson, for your 5-star review. We also have William, spelled with an E. I'm a new automation engineer and only just started programming PLCs, and this course has a lot of good information and topics were covered in this course. So thank you, William, for your 5-star review as well. Now, if you guys haven't done any training with me here at the Automation School, I did want to cover some details about how the system works here. Now, I know there's a lot of people who do this as part-time, and God bless them. It's great to have everybody teaching out there, sharing their knowledge. One of the things different, though, about the Automation School is, as you can see here, I not only do it full-time online, I do it full-time in person. And as you guys know, I'm always interviewing vendors, and I'm always working with vendors to cover new products. This is my full-time job. And so one of the things you can be assured of is that not only are the courses going to get updated on a regular basis, but I'm there every workday to answer student questions. Now, if a question is asked that's way off topic, outside the scope of the course, a lot of times I just can't go into that, right? So if you get into the ControlLogix course and you have a bunch of Micro 800 questions, you should buy the Micro 800 course, right? But in any case, the courses are also buy once and no expiration, right? So it's not a subscription. I know a lot of people like subscriptions, but with this kind of buy once, own forever, you can come back as needed and retake the lessons, retake the quizzes. You can really get a refresher over time. And another reason I do that is because I want these courses to continue to be updated. So as I just said, I'm constantly adding new content. And when I do an interview with a vendor, I'll add it in the appendix. So you'll have those interviews commercial-free in the appendix as well as part of this library of content that you bought into and now you own. And the other thing, too, is if you buy one course and you're like, oh, I wish I would have bought the bundle, no problem. I will send you an upgrade coupon for the difference in price. I've had people actually start with a $100 course and then they went all the way up to the $800 bundle. And then I had people start with a $100 course and just wanted to go up to the $200 bundle. So in any case, that's something we have no problem doing. And look, if you bought one of my online courses and then you decide you want to come to one of my $499 days of training here in my Learning Center, I'll give you up to $200 off the cost of that in-person training. That's right. So let's say you bought a $199 course of ControlLogix, and then you want to come and do some hands-on with ControlLogix, we'll do it for just $299. We'll take that $199 off the price of the course, and you'll be able to come down here for a huge discount, like it's 40% off, right? And conversely, if you come in for the $499 training for a day, when you leave here, you'll be registered in the online course that accompanies that hands-on course. So that way you don't have to binge, you don't have to rush. You can take your time, focus on hands-on. And then if you want to learn additional things like additional programming methods, or you want to learn about, maybe you don't want to do AOIs while you're here, you want to do that later, you can learn all that after the fact. And so that's one way I value my students. Again, this is my full-time job. This is all I do. So I want to take care of each and every one of you out there. And I'm also available for one-on-one consulting and training and mentoring. I've been doing that quite a bit with several students of mine who learned everything in the course, but then they run into strange things in the field and like, hey, can we sit down and look at the code together? And so I'm also available for that. Based on my schedule, you can just schedule a one-on-one with me, and we can go over your project or go over your parts and pieces or your code and see if we can't figure out what's going on. But with that, I just want, again, just come in front of you, let you know about that new review system. If you are a student in any of my courses and you haven't left a review, or maybe it's been a long time since you left a review, please come up and check that system out. And if you haven't left a review yet, please get in there and leave a review. Let me know what you thought about the course. And as always, I always ask at the last lesson of each course that if there's things you want to see me add to the course, please let me know. I'm constantly looking for deals on hardware and constantly working with vendors to try to get hardware so that we can bring you more education and just keep adding value to that course you bought. Maybe you bought it last week, or maybe you bought it 12 years ago. In any case, with that, that's it for this update and course review. I want to wish you all good health and happiness. And until next time, my friends, peace.